So this is an interesting example. This is the other extreme of using looping envelopes. So as I say, these looping envelopes, they go very fast into audio rates. I mean, one of the things the Mask1 is really good at, in my opinion, is making percussive sounds. I haven't put a huge number in the bank because they're so easy to make yourself that I've just tried to focus on a few sounds which might be more unusual or not so obvious to come up with. To me, this strikes me as a kind of bongo sound. And how is it generated? Well, let's see. We've got two oscillators, no noise, and a filter. So the two oscillators are on bitmask 29, bitmask 31. So bitmask 31 is a sine wave, which obviously is something you use a lot for percussive sounds like kick drums and snares, etc., to give the kind of hit. Whereas 29 is, obviously it's 2 bitmasks down from 31. As you come down from 31 into the 20s, you get some kind of interesting shapes which are kind of part way between sine wave, square wave, triangle wave. They've got a very interesting quality. So there's obviously a combination of the sine wave and this kind of not quite sine wave, which is giving it some bite, some higher harmonics. Now, the sound here has kind of the aspects of something like a comb filter, possibly. So how is that done? You don't actually have a comb filter in the Mask1, but using the bit masks at audio rate when they're looping, so you see here both are starting 21 above their respective bass position, and they're looping. Sorry, the speed is 21. Sorry, ignore what I just said. So the oscillator 1, which is on bitmask 29, is starting 4 above 29, so it's going up to 33. It's starting at 33, and then it's coming down at a speed of 21, which is audio rates. Now, oscillator 2, because the start point is 0, there's no looping delta envelope on oscillator 2. So actually, let's isolate oscillator 1, turn off oscillator 2 altogether. So that looping delta envelope, as I say, is giving some of the quality of a comb filter, so allowing some kind of physical modeling or resonating like a drum skin kind of effect. And let's hear how the oscillator sounds if I take off the looping delta envelope. So I'll reduce the start point to 0. So obviously that's it's a nice sound, but it doesn't give you the effect of this looping delta envelope. hear how if I use a start point of 3, it gives a similar effect. Whereas 4, yes. I mean, that's interesting, the difference between the start points. I mean, this goes back to a video I made about bitmask synthesis and the supposed third dimension, which would enable you to transition between start points and speed, ideally using an additional modulation envelope, modulation source. That would be great. At the moment you can't do that, but even with the static sound, I'm just going to go back to the init, back to the patch as it's saved. So here we have second dimension bitmask synthesis. Which is just transitioning between the different bit masks at a fixed rate. And that's giving an interesting effect. And obviously the bongo effect is relying partly on that kind of quasi-physical modelling aspect of the oscillator. It's also reliant on the envelopes. So again, even though you have limited resolution for each of the attack, decay, sustain and release portions of the envelope, so you have 0 to 15, 0 to 15, so that's 16 values. The actual values are well chosen, so you can generally get the kind of envelope shapes that you want. Or get close enough, so obviously there's a bit of delay, a bit of decay there, and a bit of release. And no sustain. And then in the mod section, I've got velocity going to the filter envelope generator. The filter is way down, it's completely closed. We're using no resonance and no filter tracking, and it's on 12 dB per octave. If I increase it to 24, kind of muffles the sound a bit more. I think it's better on 12. And then we have a relatively low filter envelope, which is giving the velocity response and adding to that effect. So I think I'm going to stop the video there. This was just a very brief look at only a couple of patches in the end. Hopefully showing off some of the ways you can use the looping envelopes in the mask1 to make interesting sounds on a single layered patch. And hopefully this has been interesting and useful for you. If you've enjoyed the video, please give me a like and a subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Goodbye.